you're
like
right.
you,
It's me.
black people like you, with your mentality, are the reason why we're not
It's me.
progressing.
It's me. You're right.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
me. Cool.
Great.
So, like I was saying,
And my answer gonna say no.
I will ask any of you, including the host, give me one thing, just one thing that has to do with everyday adulting that the majority of our women are making sound decisions in, and don't bring in white supremacy. Anything, physical fitness, income to debt ratio, child rearing, relationships, investment in retirement, anything. Is there anything that our women are making sound decisions? Any of those? One. Just give me one.
You can say fitness.
Physical fitness. The majority of our women are physically fit.
Well, I see.
I know that's the
A lot of
wrong
women try
one.
to keep that in their life.
That's the worst one. Yeah, sure. I asked the question.
Right.
I don't have a six-pack.
I don't think there's a lot that we could say. I think you're stating what we call a condition in our community, but a condition without being able to go to a causation, then you can't make proper recommendations. So I'll leave it at that. But you are stating correct condition that we are inferior in a lot of places where we shouldn't be.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Just with conversations, you don't want to stay there. A lot of times, or, I'll be trying to be diplomatic, and sometimes, I like Saul's approach sometimes where you got to be straight up, and even if it offends people, because I don't give a either. But, you just got to look at things, critically in both sides. Have a little empathy for both sides. Because, we are dealing
all
with
I'm talking about is
choice. We are dealing with
all I'm talking about is choice.
But I don't like to absorb systematic.
All I'm talking about is choice. Is anybody? Yeah, all I'm talking about is choice. Is there anything, any statistic? In fact, I'll open it up. I'll widen it up. I'll make it easier. Find me anything that the majority of our women, which would be 51%, are making sound decisions. And please don't say education, because in order to make a good decision in education, you have to have a positive ROI. That's return on investment. If the majority of our women are making less than $40,000 annually, and the majority of them that went to college have an average of $60,000 of college debt that they have not paid off and that they're delinquent in, that is not a good ROI. So please don't say education. Please provide me anything in any field.
I can give you one thing based on your criteria. Please. Right there in there it says single mothers, right? 47% single mothers. What does that give you? What's the remaining then?
26% of our mothers are single mothers.
I'm only looking at that statistic. It says 47 right there in front of me.
No, 47 is out of all women that are mothers. We average 1,000 deletions a day, sir.
Nah, I'm looking at that. I'm pretty sure that red is African American. Is that chart right?
Sir, the number, this isn't the number of all women.
Shut up.
Like I said, we average 1,000 abortions a day.
Provide proof of the 76%.
1,000.
Provide proof of the 76%.
I'm talking about, you said find a statistic that 51 or more.
I hope we're talking about the chart that's on the screen, and we ain't talking about nothing we don't see.
He's saying false.
I said, I know what I said, and I'll repeat it.
Provide
proof. 47% of single mothers, that would mean 53% are not, correct?
True. However, the host just discussed, the host just discussed that we average 1,000 abortions a day. We have 50% of the abortions of America, and we're only 14%. So that number up there isn't correct, because they're not including the women who abortion their baby, and they're still a mother.
If you abort your baby, then you're not a mother.
Oh, really?
No, really. I mean, that's
so. If your baby passes away, you're not a mother.
If you abort your baby, you're not a mother. You're not a single mother if you don't have a baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm being honest with you.
Okay, that's your opinion.
For instance, let me tell you something. Let's say you.
I want to hear this. I want to hear. So, Saul, you feel like if you abort your baby, you're still a mother?
That's right. R.I.P. your child. When you go get judged, he ain't gonna say you're not a mother.
That's true.
Here's your child.
You cannot get pregnant.
You cannot get pregnant, and if your child regardless of what stage it is, that's your opinion. She was pregnant. That's a child that was created from her actions. It's called SMEX.
That's
And
not
if
a
you
child.
chose, if I don't care what your opinion is.
No, what,
That's
you
your
know,
opinion.
what he's saying is,
That's your opinion,
what
and we
he's
don't.
saying is kind of, what he's
Yeah, I
saying,
think
no,
we got
listen,
two opinions.
what he's saying is accurate. I'm gonna tell you why. Because a lot of times, you know, women who do have this procedure, they go through a lot of spiritual anxiety and problems that need healing because of it. Just
All
like
right.
they lost a living, walking, past fetus stage in the world.
Thank you.
Let's use.
Okay, so a lot of times there's a spiritual compromise that they gotta make with themselves.
And if
You
I
know,
unalive a
people go
pregnant
through a lot
woman, do I get
of healing.
do I
You got
get
some
2
people
counts
in the
of
thing saying
murder?
100 because they know that that's not no easy thing. It's a physical healing and spiritual healing. It's both.
I hear you. I
If
hear
I
both of you, but let
unalive
me
a
ask a
pregnant
logical
woman, do I
question.
get 2 counts of murder or 1?
It depends on the state. But let me ask a question, a logical question of reverse order then, since it doesn't matter stage. I'm just going to put a scenario to you. You're an adult, and let's say your mother is still alive. Your father dies. Your mother's alive. She has no more children. She has adult children. Is she a single mother? Okay. Hey, at least you're consistent. I think what you're doing there is you want to be right so bad that you'll say whatever it takes to be right. And you do have that personality. And I'm not knocking it. It's just not an intellectually honest personality. Come on.
That's your opinion. Adult children go back
It is
home.
my opinion, but
Adult children go back home.
that it doesn't matter where adult children go back home. If you're an adult and your mother is single, and she has no young children, I don't think people would call her a single mother.
What does that got to do with facts? What people would call
It
her?
has to because this. What
She's a mother and she's single.
Because you're trying to create a criteria that probably this statistic
I'm not trying
isn't
to
even
create
accounting
anything.
for.
All
No,
you're
no,
arguing
it
is
is not
my
normal to
points.
think that
You're
it is not
arguing my
normal.
opinion.
So
I
you know
don't
what
argue
that's
people's
happening?
opinion.
Even because I
You're
think
trying
we're
to
talking
argue
about
mine.
a adult mother, right? I mean, with adult kids, right?
Do they not get a Mother's Day card on Mother's Day? Stupid.
But you're calling them single mothers when they have adult
I think
children
what
if
he's
they're not
saying
with a man.
is that even if, let's say you were dating that mother with, you know, grown kids, you still got to deal with the residual of her kids.
If one of her children become a vegetable, guess what? We're not going to just leave it out there. We're going to bring it home and take care of him or her.
You guys are making all
She still will have allegiance to them children. So a lot of times, yeah, if something happens, she will still have, you know, those children will take priority, even if even the children checking you, saying, "Yo, listen, my mother's been hurt by these past derelicts, and I want to make sure you want to straight and narrow." That's still, you know, the presence of the kids. And they should be saying that.
I'm gonna pass on. Like I said, whether you all believe that adult children or unalive AB children would still continue to make a person a single mother, I'm gonna let y'all have that opinion. And it is an opinion, like you said, and I'm gonna have a different opinion. I don't think that's intellectually honest to what the concept of single mother is. When we talk about single mothers, I think we're talking about the upraising of children in a single mother household. Not that a woman.
You know, true. Trust me, I understand. Like, I understand because you're talking more tangible, tangible. But you still, but that's what Saul's saying. You're still dealing with the residual. Whether she had a AB, you still dealing with the residual of those emotions.
He's saying that. I get what he's saying.
It's kind of like something you still will have to navigate at some point.
Yes, host. I get what he's saying. I just, like I said, I don't have a problem that he thinks that. I just think it's intellectually dishonest. But I get that's his opinion, and that's what he's saying. I have no doubt what he's trying to say. But as I said, I just think the concept of single mother would apply to having children and being a single woman with children.
And the majority of our women who have children are single mothers and had their children outside of wedlock. So what's your point?
Well, I'm looking at the percentage in front of me, and I disagree with that.
And you know what that percentage also includes? It includes women who can have children, women who have aged out of having children, sir.
Okay. So that number in front of me is still that, though.
Exactly. So that doesn't prove anything. My original question was,
53%
give me
are
one
not single
thing
mothers.
that does not mean that they're making good choices by unaliving their child.
I didn't say they were. That's a different thing.
But we have the majority of all abortions in America, and we're only 14% of the nation. I'm sorry, 7% of the women.
That's a problem. Me and
exactly,
you
it's a problem. So don't sit up there and try to make it seem like it's a good thing.
No one did, sir. But that's
what you brought it up. You said
no,
that the 53%.
I didn't bring it up. You did, sir. I brought up the single mother.
Exactly. You're saying that the 50.
You brought up.
Go ahead.
You don't even know who brought up what.
Go ahead.
Real quick, I'm gonna take a second real quick. Listen, Nerdy, are you there?
Here.
How do you feel about what you heard? I heard you with a few women that were supporting Saw's dialogue and things he was saying, and I do as well, some certain parts. You know, he's definitely consistent. You know, you don't get nowhere wishy-washy. You know, a lot of times if I'm able to change, even if I'm able to kind of sway people's decision making on the stream, I know whatever you believe wasn't that concrete in the first place. So, you know, Saw is definitely, you know, consistent. How do you feel, Nerdy?
Well, see, the thing is, I don't see anything wrong with what Saul said. Actually, the things that he's saying, it can prevent a lot of stress in our community if we just close our legs as women, and men also make better choices in who they procreate with. I don't see anything wrong with that. That's similar to what the feminists believe and what the 4B women believe, closing your legs, waiting to marriage, or whatever the hell they believe. I don't see anything harmful. Is pretty much the same advice your father will give you. Your father will tell you, hey, you know, I prefer you not procreate outside of marriage. I prefer you not to have sex before marriage. And if you do, you know, they give you, you know, birth control, whatever, but it's a safety measure so you're not making mistake after mistake after man after man after man. So what Saul essentially saying is if we as women say we have autonomy over our own body, then why is it the man's fault that we end up pregnant? If we give him access to our body, we give him access to our body, not his body, and we're not married, then it's our fault as women that we are single mothers. I, on the other hand, I made sure that I waited until I was married to have kids. My mom, the same way. She had 9 kids within wedlock. It's not hard. Women are choosing, they're opting into single motherhood because they can't close their damn legs and then make excuses for it. But they call their excuses mistakes. And that's a lack of accountability. You have to have responsibility over your own body. If we're going to talk about leadership, we can't even lead our own bodies. I don't understand the pushback with what Saul said. I really don't. I land.
No, you're definitely making good points. You know, listen, I had all the prejudice in the world ready for Saul, but at certain points I had to listen to and say, yeah, what he's saying is accurate. And sometimes you can't be in the middle of the road, you know. But there is, you know, and that's why I was on other panels kind of talking about a similar thing. And the first thing I say, they say, what's the biggest problem? I say, yeah, it's you know, motherhood. And leaning towards women, because a lot of times if we teach our children better, if we as mothers know that we're representing people, you know, that represent ourselves better and not open our legs, you know, dating for marriage, you know. But a lot of times if, you know, statistically they say once, you know, black women have their children, they break up from that first, they never married again. It is because, and a lot of times because they're not thinking that way.
So when are we going to hold both parties accountable and just stop bashing black women only? That's what I'm waiting on. Because it's not productive to just bash one party. Both have a part in it.
Coco,
so when are we going to do that?
Coco,
No, I wasn't talking about that. I was asking the host a question.
Coco, you can't take a conversation about accountability and say I'm being bashed. Because guys can say that too. We can say it real good. You say something to us, and we can say you bashing us, but that's not bashing.
answer the question. Like, when are we going to hold both parties accountable and
We're
just
not.
only blaming black women?
We're not.
That's not productive.
When it comes to
That's
children,
not
we're not.
productive. I wasn't
What
asking
account?
you a question,
It
so
doesn't matter.
I
I
wasn't
answered.
asking you a question.
Really quick, Coco. What accountability do you feel black men should have?
They both play a part into why the black community is the way it is. It's not
But
just black women.
particularly
It's not
black
just
men,
motherhood.
and particularly black men, what should we have? What accountability should we have?
Creating single mothers. It's not just black women who are allowing themselves to be single mothers. It's also black men who are creating single mothers. So how is it just only black women who's to blame? Go back on mute.
Body your
I
choice.
wasn't asking you a question.
Because you're giving us access to be reckless.
Thank you.
How
No,
come
yeah,
you don't
yeah,
have
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have
emotional
Thank
morals.
you.
No,
Listen.
why is
Thank
everything
you.
going off of
Listen,
you when I wasn't
put it
even
this way,
asking
Coco.
you a
Because
question?
you did it.
But
Now,
I
when it
wasn't
happens to you,
asking
you
you a
don't like it.
question. You're not
Yeah,
productive. I'm not talking
yeah. But
to
when
you.
you do
I'm
it,
not
you don't
talking
like it,
to you
right?
though. You're not
It's
productive.
like,
You're
but I'm
irrelevant.
talking to
You're
you.
irrelevant. I'm not talking to you. Anyways, how are you going to
Coco?
say give us access to be
You don't
reckless?
have
How about as
emotional
men have
intelligence right
respect for
now.
women? How about as men have respect for women? What do you mean? What do you mean letting you have access to be reckless? Why don't you have respect for women?
It is
That's the
respect.
question.
I'm giving you what
So
you
how
want.
I don't think we have,
how
but
is
you
that
know,
only for black women to
does
be
start
blamed?
with you giving us access.
How
And
about when you have
remember,
access to a woman, you respect her and not
Dang,
make
she
her a
over
single
talking to
mother?
host.
But
Damn.
Coco, listen, there's no, you can't, if a woman's lonely and she wants male company, that's no, that's her nature. We just got to make sure
See,
we facilitate better men. Also, if you want to say that, yeah, we got to make sure we facilitate better men around you that can, when you do make a decision to open your legs, because you eventually will, that there's a community that is more productive and progressive around you.
yeah, no. If as a man, you should have
I have a
respect
question.
for having access to a woman's body. So
I
how
have
can you sit there and not take accountability?
Your choice.
a host. I have a question, please.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a woman and I go rob a bank or go tag along with 4 men to rob a bank, is it my fault that I got caught up, or is it the men's fault I got caught up?
Hold those men accountable for
It's
not
your
telling
fault.
you not to come. We need to tell those men that you should have stayed home and you should not
I
have
should have
even robbed
stayed
that
home,
bank.
Saul.
That's right. We need to tell those men. We need to hold those men accountable.
Hold them accountable.
Hold them
Amen.
accountable, goddammit.
There's some solid points that again you guys are males are generally more delicate than females. You guys mature faster than us. Y'all able to make children way before we are. Maybe depending.
Sure.
But you guys are dealing with children making issues way before we are. So you guys have a certain maturity that if you're dealing with somebody older than you, you got that that imbalance. If you're dealing with somebody your same age, you may feel imbalanced because of your maturity. So yeah, when women, if women, don't give us access, you eliminate a lot, but you eventually will. But guys, us as men, we definitely have to make sure you're in a community that's conducive to giving access.
Can I ask you a
Because when it
question,
happens,
host?
nobody can blame people for their nature. Just like I've seen other panels of, people use a lot of testosterone against us. Yeah, I'm always going to want to whatever, but, you can't say my testosterone is me manipulating women, unless I'm being a creep about it,
Can I ask you a question, host?
Yeah, so.
At what age can men or boys produce sperm at the earliest age? What's the earliest age?
I know some kids, some kids, I'm hearing people going through puberty at 9.
Okay, so if a 9-year-old boy can get a woman pregnant, which this has happened before, grown women have gotten impregnated by child boys, boy children. So are we supposed to hold that boy accountable?
Listen, Antoine Fisher, those cases are rare, but they do happen.
Okay,
I mean,
so like I said,
even Tyler Perry,
what
his testimony of
exactly?
being touched in the church by a male and a female when he was young, underage. And R. Kelly, we have celebrities that have the same testimony.
Yes,
So it's
and
not
I
their
brought
fault.
that up for a reason. The point is this: what makes a man, the body or the mind?
Ultimately, the mind will make a man.
Thank you. So even if a man is 30, if he has a childish mind and he still will go inside of a woman and give his seed without having the ability to provide for that seed in that woman, is that not still a childish mind?
You're absolutely right.
So thank you. I don't care exactly. You heard exactly what he said and you heard what we said. So
True, because
so like I
these
was
men
saying,
are like
excuse
fucking
me,
dumb. There
excuse
ain't
me,
no excuse me
excuse
nothing. You're
me.
dumb. At
Good,
this
good.
point,
So
you're
when you
dumb.
talk, I'm
At
gonna
this
interrupt
point,
you
you're
again.
dumb. At
When you
this point,
talk,
you're
I'm gonna
dumb
interrupt you
because you
again.
have no sense.
And when you
You have
talk, I'm
no
gonna interrupt
sense.
you
He's
again.
open.
So
Hold
Maybe
that
on.
after
means you're
this, you
saying
have
the
no
host.
sense. Let
That's when
somebody
you're
else
saying the
speak.
Thank you,
host. I'm
Stanley.
Let
agreeing with the
somebody else
host.
speak.
I'm agreeing with the host.
Thank you.
So, like I was saying,
Goddamn
these
fool.
individuals choose childish adults, childish people, all types of individuals who have no plan in life, don't have a pot to piss in or when to throw it out. And then you allow him to go inside of you raw and ejaculate. Not only that, it takes almost 7 to 14 days for procreation to even happen. Then you still don't go and get any type of treatment to prevent
It's